Welcome again to another exciting edition of the show.
Yeah, and this time we're going to see Ortis and Polly involved in a hose down, hoedown.
Nice.
A kind of mucky tech car washing challenge.
Yes, and later on, Jason, John and Polly will be looking at the latest wireless headphones, and I will be giving you my top 5 tablet apps.
Oh, like me, viewers, I'm sure you can't wait to get your hands on Suzi's apps.
Enough.
We were instructed to meet in a car park.
Clean me!
Is that our challenge?
And find a van that needed cleaning.
Polly.
Oh.
This week, your challenge is to become gadget valets with a difference. You won't just be washing cars, you'll be picking them up from your clients on personal transport.
Nice. First things first, though, please choose your cleaning kit from the gadgets in the van. We've got gadgets in the van. Let's go.
Ooh.
Ah, Bagsy the pressure washer.
So, a bit of friendly squabbling later.
Ladies first.
I don't see any ladies.
Oh.
And we were both the proud owners of a clean van of equipment each. It was time to give them a test run, and for that, we needed to get down and dirty. So we headed into town and started to clean anything and everything we could get our hands on.
I'd immediately gone for the tech that didn't require mains power to make me more mobile. Except nobody in this town wanted to be clean.
Do you want your screen cleaned? No? No? OK.
Finally, I spotted a victim. I mean customer.
Woohoo! Let's get cleaning.
I started with a 12-volt powered wet and dry vacuum cleaner from Halfords.
That's not bad for a 12-volt. I've got a couple of other things I want to try out, so are you all right if I leave you with that?
Sure, why not?
This is called the buff ball. All you have to do is attach this head onto your normal power drill and it works as a buffer. It's as simple as that. There's a bit of technique to it, but once you get the technique right, it actually works okay. Oh, look at that for a shine.
Not bad. Could you do the whole car?
No.
Now, I like the odd biscuit or 5, and one of the trickiest aspects of valeting a car is getting rid of all of those crumbs. So, I've got these 2 vacuums here, and I'm gonna find out which one is best. Could either of them cope with the debris of Tamworth Council's office? Now, this is a very big building. There are 6 floors, so I'm going to the top, because as we all know, like heat, dust rises. First up was the battery-powered Dyson Animal. It's okay, I'm here. Put your feet up. I'm coming underneath. Right. It recently came in #1 in Suzi's top 5 minivacs test, but would it cut it in this challenge? Oh my goodness, staples! Look at this! Bits of torn paper, purple lint! It certainly handled the dirt, but with a 3-hour charge only giving 6 minutes of power, it wouldn't do for valeting. Although, for a general-purpose cordless, it's still the business. There we are. We're out. Ow. The Electrolux Stair and Car is built specifically for car cleaning. But, unlike the Dyson Animal, it's powered from the mains. How would the 2 compare? I can already feel the power in this one. Let's get right in your keys. Your keys are clean. I'm sorry, Dyson, but there's a new vacuuming boss in town.
While Otis was sucking up to the office ladies, I was testing pressure washers.
I have a Bosch and I have a Karcher. They're great for cleaning windows, driveways and even cars, but I have devised a test which is going to see which one of these is the best. Here we go. This is the Bosch.
The Bosch is the cheapest and lightest of the 2, boasting a whopping 1800-watt motor.
Hey! That is actually not bad. I think I'm wearing more than probably what I've cleaned off. Next is the Karcher.
The Karcher packs a monstrous 2100-watt motor, giving this paving a right good licking.
And therefore, when I think about my challenge and what I need it for, cleaning cars, the Karcher is going to have to be the one.
But the icing on my pressure washer cake was the ultimate snow foam lamps.
What you do is you pop this on the end of your hose, and instead of it actually squirting out water, it will give you a nice even layer of cleaning foam.
The mechanism combines water with cleaning fluid, then mixes it with air to create foam, which gets to work on the dirt straight away.
This is the Windoro, fresh from South Korea. To be honest with you, I've not seen anything much like it. Ah, look who it isn't. Oh, Polly, bless your heart. Using elbow grease, soap and water.
I am indeed, and it worked.
Yeah, but it's all very wet, very messy. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it is water.
Yeah. Come with me and I'll show you how to do it with so much less mess. The 4 cleaning pads polish the glass while the whole robot is set moving via remote. It's a great idea, in theory. So as you can see, it's not the fastest of cleaners, but, you know, it's better than watching paint dry, isn't it?
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, she's right. I probably need a pressure washer. So I went for the beast of a washer, the Makita Aquamat. Now, it's a pressure cleaner that comes packing heat. And when I say heat, there's a thermostat here that allows you to turn the heat of the water up thanks to a diesel burner that's on board. So I think this graffiti here deserves being removed. The water can reach up to 90 degrees Celsius, although I might have it a tad lower for my cars. It's actually stripping the paint off the bricks. Oh yeah, I'm having that.
Ooh, it's a good tech. Nice.
There is.
Particularly interested in that Windoro
I knew you would be.
But it seems slow, and it seems to only do one side.
Okay, they're working on a version that will do both sides of the glass at the same time.
Yeah.
The selling point isn't speed. You're just meant to clamp it into position and let it do its thing. Walk away, do something else.
Oh, so cleaning without actually doing it yourself.
Exactly.
Like that. I also liked this.
Oh, yes.
Snow foam.
Snow foam with a Karcher cleaner is going to be my secret weapon.
Do you know what? I might just put a few pennies on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
Oh, there's a lot of rubbing and buffing still to come.
Right, time for a break now, but there's a whole heap more tech coming up very shortly.
Cool stuff.
As well as some very important advice about how to stop yourself being hacked online.
Should take about 32 billion years to crack it.
Welcome back. Now, the internet, a great place to chat with your mates and share your photos online. However, in recent months, hackers have been hitting the headlines, making it a far less desirable place to hang out.
Yes, with the recent attacks on everyone from the PlayStation Network to the CIA, it's gone to prove one thing, that no one's information is safe online.
Yeah, but there are ways that you can help to protect yourself. So we sent John off to find out more.
The more computers and the internet become an indispensable part of modern life, the more we rely on them to store personal information.
And often the only thing that stands between your sensitive data and a criminal is your password. A password that's just waiting to be hacked.
But just how easy is it to crack a password? Well, to find out, I challenged computer security expert Lee Whitfield from Disk Labs to break into 3 password-protected documents.
So, let's get started.
And surprisingly, he began with a very low-tech approach.
I mean, one of the main things that we would do if we were going to crack a password back at the lab would be we want as much information about somebody as possible. So that might involve going on their Facebook profile, finding out what kind of car they have, what team they support, what the names of the children or the spouses. And once you have that information, typically you will find a password pretty quickly.
So don't use a password derived from personal information that's available online.
How are we doing?
But for Lee, this strategy proved fruitless, so his next step was to load my 3 password-protected documents he'd been challenged with hacking into specialist password recovery software. First, it tried the most common 1,000 passwords that people use. If any of these are yours, you might as well not bother, because
that password will be found within half a second.
But I hadn't used a common password, so the software then went through every word in the dictionary. And at 17,000 words a second, password 1 didn't stand a chance.
It took just over a minute.
Should be Gadget, the very original one that was there.
Yeah, Gadgets.
But the next 2 passwords weren't in the dictionary, so the software had to resort to going through every combination on the keyboard.
It'll start at A for the first character, and then it'll go AA, AB, and all the way through until it hits every single possible combination.
By making password 2 a combination of letters and a number, I'd made Lee's task much harder. But within half an hour, he had it.
Okay, that's the second password that we've got now.
Which is,
that's Gadgets with a 4 instead of the A, 3 instead of the E.
Yep, that's the second one gone. I've got much more confidence in the third, though.
Coming up with a complicated password is easy. Remembering it is often not. So here's a tip to help. First, instead of a memorable word,
think of a memorable phrase that includes numbers and at least 10 words. For example, the Gadget Show is on Monday nights at 8 p.m. on Channel 5. Then take the first letter of each of the words to form an acronym. Then capitalise 50% of the letters and add symbols at either end.
This monster password was the one protecting my third document, and I was pretty certain it would take a very long time to bust.
So, how are you doing, Lee?
Might be a while.
Yes, I think you might be, because according to this website, howsecureismypassword.net, it should take a desktop PC about 32 billion years to crack it. So, see you later.
Yeah, see ya.
So, my final words of hacker-busting advice are: make complex passwords, don't use the same password for everything, and, if it's available, choose two-step authentication, which you can now get on Facebook and Gmail.
Once you've set this up, then whenever they get a log-on for a new device, they send you a warning text. And if it's not you, you can do something about it. Ooh, excuse me.
Some great password tips there, John.
Thank you.
I've also got a nice tip for you. A way of generating a very secure password. It's called passwordcard.org. The fun way to do it is on an app, and there it is. That is my password card. OK, I'll just take you through it very quickly. You choose a symbol from one of the symbols on the top. I'll go for that umbrella. You then choose a colour, let's say, I don't know, yellow. My password would then say I want 8 characters, would be VRWDPFZN, and so on and so forth. And that information saved on the cloud, so I can access it from all different platforms.
That's your unique card, presumably?
Yes, every card is unique to you.
And millions of permutations?
Oh, completely, hundreds of millions.
Brilliant, excellent. Well, one thing that could undo all your best online security efforts is your smartphone. So many people have them now, and 70% of us don't bother to lock them with a passcode. Yeah. And just think, what you've got on, say, an iPhone, you've got all your email accounts, you've got those shopping apps with your bank details in, you've got all your contacts, all your social networking. Just takes a moment's carelessness, a thief or worse could get access to all of that.
OK, so you heard it here. Please, set up a password on your smartphone.
Yep.
Now, unless you've had your head stuck firmly in the sand for the last 18 months, you can't have failed to have noticed lots of these cropping up. Yes, tablets. We've even got our own giant iTab in the studio. But of course now, there are literally thousands and thousands of different apps. So I thought that I would share 5 of my favourites with you. Everyone is using tablets from Barack Obama to the Queen, and for one reason alone, their apps. But with nearly 500,000 apps available, picking my favourite wasn't going to be an easy task. Well, I've had a good look through all of the app stores to pick out the best of the bunch so that you can get the most out of these. First up at 5, it's the out-of-this-world music app Planetary for the iPad. The basic visuals for all music players are, well, pretty boring, but the Planetary app for iPad is boldly going where no other music players have gone before. It's an app for exploring your tablet's music library. Each artist is shown as a star, surrounded by albums in the form of orbiting planets. And then you have individual tracks displayed as moons orbiting each album. So if I want to listen to David Bowie, for example, I just click on his name on the solar system, it zooms in, it shows me all of his songs, and it brings a whole new meaning to life on Mars. At 4, it's Visiden App Lock for Android, which, like John's password tips earlier, provides another level of security. With so many apps now containing a wealth of personal information, you really don't want this falling into the wrong hands. The front-facing camera on the tablet scans your facial features, and then facial recognition software ensures that only you are able to load your personal apps. So when I got a Gadget Show researcher to try and use my tablet, it didn't recognise his face, and he got a password prompt that prevented him accessing my apps. In at 3, it's Flipboard for the iPad. With more and more people hearing their breaking news on social networking sites like Twitter and Facebook, Flipboard is a great app for iPad users. It combines all of your social networking into a sassy newspaper layout. It takes your Facebook and Twitter accounts and collects every link your friends or the people you're following have posted and combines them into a traditional newspaper style. You can use the unique visuals to flip through all the pages of your news feed. Links and photos can be tapped to make full screen, commented on and replied to. And if you're looking at Facebook links, click the all-important like button.
I think Flipboard is a really innovative service. It's an absolute pleasure to use and, in my opinion, is one of the best social apps that I've ever come across.
At 2, it's the brilliant driving game Real Racing 2.
Real Racing 2 is fantastic simulation that rivals, if not matches, anything that you'd see on any of the home consoles.
What makes the game head and shoulders above all the other racing titles is that with the combination of Apple's latest mobile operating system, iOS 5, and Apple TV, they together create a completely wireless control system.
So the game is being streamed from your iPad to your TV via Apple TV. So essentially what you end up with is your iPad becoming the controller with a map of the track that you're racing on. Cool stuff.
This is a real game changer and really rivals what we've just seen announced by Nintendo in the form of the Wii U.
Put quite simply, I think that this is taking the app experience to a whole new level.
But Real Racer is kept off the #1 spot by a truly brilliant video app for the iPad 2.
One of the best additions to the iPad 2 were the front and rear-facing cameras, enabling video calls and opportunities for loads of apps, including one of my favourites, 8mm.
The app takes the iPad back in time to capture the beauty and magic of old-school movies, just like one of mine. You can recreate the atmosphere of these classic eras with timeless retro looks like 1920s, 60s, 70s, Sakura, X-Pro, and film noir filters, all to replicate the real thing.
It's so nostalgic. All that's missing for me is the little boy's haircut and the flares. Magic.
So those are my top 5 tablet apps, but they are just the headliners in the vast collection of apps that are available.
Earlier in the show, Pollyanna and I were given a challenge that would get our hands dirty. Quite literally, we were going to be car valets for the day, cleaning up some of Birmingham's filthiest motors.
However, in true Gadget Show style, we were out to prove that there's more ways to buff a bonnet than with moist leathers and turtle wax.
And after a whistle-stop tour of some of Tamworth's grubbiest areas where filth likes to lurk, we'd chosen our weapons. But, of course, this is a Gadget Show challenge, and it wasn't as straightforward as just cleaning cars.
We had our cleaning implements sorted, but as gadget valets, we had to not only wash the cars, but pick them up from our clients too.
So, to be in with a chance of being the very best, we have to get through our clients as quickly as possible. So, our pickup transport has to be as quick and efficient as our cleaning techniques.
We bagged a test track and a massive lineup of the latest personal transport gadgets, each with a feature that might give us the edge. And it was crucial that we make the right choice.
Right, this is the solo wheel, and immediately in terms of weight and size, it's the most practical of all the personal transports we've got here. This self-balancing ride-on wheel has a 2-hour battery life and uses gyroscopes to help you stay vertical. It may have been compact, but staying upright was a challenge. Slow down, hop off. Next.
Now, there were a fair few battery-powered machines here, but they didn't have a hope in hell of fitting in a car boot. And while a folding bike would solve that, it wouldn't have the speed and power to win. Or would it?
I'm going to go straight for the folding bikes, but these are a whole new breed of transport because they're electric.
The battery bike Breeze and the Life Cycle Traveller are both a similar weight, but while the Life Cycle was a joy to ride,
The performance is pretty good.
it was a right hassle to put together.
I don't think I could be bothered with all this fiddling around every single time you put the bike up and take it back down.
And what the battery bike gained from fast assembly,
Pedals out.
it lost in power on the road.
And definitely doesn't feel as fast.
Maybe it was time to try something a bit different.
This is the EcoBoomer Robin M1. Does about 25 miles an hour top speed and goes about 25 miles on one charge. It's actually very easy to steer.
But of course, Otis had also found something he liked.
This will rip that to shreds.
Well, do you want to put it to the test?
Yeah.
Race you.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, man! I'm absolutely destroying it!
I know I'm not holding on to this at all in the right way.
The G's!
Come on!
I think you'll find, Pollyanna, that once again it is an emphatic victory courtesy of the tech that Otis got.
Yeah, I passed the finish line.
No, I slowed down for you, Polly. I slowed down for you. Ah, Polly. Obviously, I'd hidden the true potential of my trike pony and ridden it super slowly, just so she wouldn't choose it. But in fact, it was more than great. It has two settings. The economy setting allows you to go up to 15 miles an hour. The turbo boost takes you up to 20. And I think it's got winner written all over it. Oh, she's watching. Slow, stay. But no sooner had I set my heart on the trike than I made a discovery. I can't use them at all then? It's not road legal. Technically, it's a scooter because it doesn't have pedals, so if the battery fails, I couldn't power it under my own steam. That means, technically, if I wanted to use it, I'd have to get it registered and MOT'd. I don't have time for that, so I'm gonna have to choose another vehicle, technically. Gutted, but there was nothing for it. I had to keep looking.
Come on, catch up.
My thighs are on fire. Does it fold away, though?
No. Don't like this.
Fortunately for both of us, we still had all kinds of wheeled warriors left to test. From the sublime
Pick up your bang and up you go.
to the ridiculous
Let's not.
to the really flippin' fast.
I can smell her. She's behind me, isn't she? And it wasn't long before I found something rather special. I have discovered something new and exciting. This is the Ike bike. Battery boosted to 15 mph, a range of 22 miles, and that wasn't all. It has a brand new and different folding mechanism. Check it out. This is it. This is it. It's all about me and Ike, man.
I'd also found something I loved, the Nano Brompton.
It isn't an off-the-shelf electric bike, but it's a conversion kit for the classic Brompton folding bike.
The lightest of the bikes here, the Brompton M3L plus the motor kit and battery bag totals only 17.7 kilograms, plus the range is an outstanding 60 miles.
Oh, hello, Mr. Dealey.
Choice made?
Absolutely, I am bagging the Nano Brompton. Look, it's got my germs on there.
Yeah, I wasn't going to fight you for it. Because this is folding simplicity. Check it out. There go my handlebars.
Uh-huh.
And then, it's as simple as that.
Looking good, guys.
Thanks, man.
Interesting choice of bike. So a classic with a modern twist.
Yes.
And the Ike bike, not to be confused with the Yike
bike, not at all. So the one I'm liking about this, dude, is it looks like they've really got the folding mechanism right there.
Yes.
So that's in the right position for the madness.
And it appears to have the right amount of pep as well.
We'll have to see if which one works.
Indeed, we will.
Right, now we want to talk to you about headphones.
Yes, but not the type that require a whole dangly cable ordeal, all right? We're talking wireless headphones.
Indeed we are. Now, wireless headphones are potentially a very desirable gadget indeed, but only if they manage to offer great sound quality and don't require receiver units the size of Jodrell Bank strapped to your head. Yeah.
No, that's not a good look, is it?
It's not.
So, in a Gadget Show first, we decided to head off in different directions to test the same headphones in a variety of settings.
Headphones are everywhere these days, a part of our lives, whether we're walking, riding, or just chilling.
And they come in all shapes and sizes, but most of them have one thing in common: an inconvenient, untidy cable that's waiting to be snagged. Fortunately, there is a solution to this niggling problem, and that's these wireless headphones.
I'd gotten hold of 3 of the latest on the market. The sleek and stylish Jaybird Sportsband SB2s, which like the others use Bluetooth technology, but unlike them don't have a wired option. These Philips SHB 9001s, which use an ever-clear sound system designed to reduce ambient noise. And the Sennheiser MM550s, which have a range of noise-cancelling and sound enhancement features, but are the most expensive of the 3 pairs. But since headphones are often judged on personal preference, I decided to involve Jason and Polly to make sure we gave all 3 pairs a thorough, in-depth testing. Polly would be looking at their effectiveness on the move. I'd be examining their practicality and comfort during a country hike. And Jason would test their all-important sound quality.
I took all 3 pairs on my recent exhausting filming trip to Morocco and tried out their noise-cancelling abilities in the back of a bumpy crew van, starting with the cool-looking Jaybirds. Unfortunately, their small foam earpieces didn't seal around my ears, so I had to turn up the volume to cut out the road noise.
But I'm being told by the boys who are also in the car with me that they can hear the music too, which, to be quite honest, I don't think that's going to be much appreciated.
Next, I tried the Philips, which did block out a lot of the road noise.
However, one thing I will say is when you turn the volume up a little bit high, you do have noise distortion.
But at a comfortable volume, the sound was very respectable. Finally, the Sennheisers.
Because the cups are so full, they completely envelop the ears and block out any surrounding noise whatsoever, especially with their noise cancellation technology as well.
And unlike the Philips, the Sennheisers give you crystal clear sound, whatever the volume.
I really like these.
So, with the Sennheiser's noise cancellation really impressing Polly, I wanted to see what they felt like during a long afternoon walk.
Now, I think practicality is very important in a pair of wireless headphones. What design features they have, how good the battery life is, how comfortable they are, especially if you're going to be wearing them all day.
I began my test with the Jaybirds, which are designed as workout headphones.
Now, the Jaybirds feel really light and comfortable. They also fit very securely on your head. I mean, I'm just walking about, but I could engage in wanton sporting activities like running in these with confidence.
Next, I tried the Philips, which have a massive 17-hour battery life, more than double that of the other two pairs. And they too felt comfortable on my hike.
Philips are more on-ear than over-ear, and Philips have used both sides for controls. There's volume and play pause here, track change on this side.
Finally, I tried the Sennheisers, which again proved comfortable.
The Sennheisers feel very well made, and the ear cups are large. They fit right over your ears, giving you a considerable sense of isolation from your environment, which could be a good thing. On the other hand, you're not like to hear the mountain bike that's about to run you over.
Nevertheless, like Polly, I felt the Sennheisers provided the best listening experience on my walk. But would Jason agree with us?
As far as I'm concerned, when you're talking about wireless headphones, there's only one thing that really matters: how they sound. And for this, I've demanded a bit of peace and quiet and a very large hotel room. I began by listening to the pair that looked the best, the Jaybirds. They just don't sound good enough. There's no real character to the sound. It's like meeting a pop star with a really weak handshake. You know, it's still Jay-Z, but you can't help thinking that the lyrics don't belong to this guy because he's got this wet, sticky hand. So the Jaybirds were really disappointing. Next, I tried the Philips. There's a fruitiness to the flavour, a colour there, and there's enough bass to satisfy me with my penchant for dubstep, and enough treble for my scratchy 80s digital 8-bit kind of sounds that I like to hear. So yeah, I'm impressed with these. But would the Sennheisers be better? It's interesting, they're very cool. These are Gadget fans' headphones, and of the three, they're definitely the most sophisticated technologically. And I would say that the sound is the best sound in terms of pure quality. But there's a problem. There's a problem with these Sennheisers. They're not loud enough. They're about 5% away from what I need. Now, that's very personal, but, I mean, am I the only guy that likes loud music?
So, with the Sennheisers disappointing Jason, we got together to decide the G ratings, and it's 3 Gs for the Jaybirds.
One thing about the Jaybirds, though, is that they are intended for sports use. And of the three, they are the lightest, and they have the smallest footprint.
We all appreciated their looks and comfort, but they were let down by their sound quality. Onto the Philips, which get 4 Gs.
They're loud, they're also relatively quite cheap, so I don't have to worry about them that much.
They're very comfortable as well, and that's a major thing for me.
Their long battery life and very acceptable sound made them a great value all-rounder. And finally, it's also 4 Gs for the Sennheisers.
You get a great sense of space, you sort of get the sense you're there, not very loud though.
And this lack of volume prevents them being our outright winner, despite their highly impressive acoustics.
Welcome back to this week's challenge, where these two had to literally roll up their sleeves and give it some welly.
We did indeed, yes. We had to set up our own executive car cleaning service in Birmingham. It was a challenge that saw us personally collecting some of the city's filthiest vehicles and returning them back to their owners in pristine condition.
We'd each chosen our own collection of car cleaning tech, and some brilliant personal transport gadgets, and we were both ready to do battle.
Yes, all that remained was for each of them to assemble their own crack team of car cleaners to see who would become the gleaming supercar and who'd be the rusty old banger of the car valeting world.
We'd taken over a local valeting company and equipped it with a high-tech cleaning kit. The challenge was on. A race to clean 3 pairs of equally filthy vehicles.
And we each had a team of car wash helpers. My team was 3 girls who knew a lot about soap because they star in Hollyoaks, get it? And they'd made a big effort to look as good as possible for their scrubbing. If I can get them to apply this amount of attention to detail to cleaning cars, bang, we win.
I'd gone for a team who knew the joys of door-to-door car washing inside out, the Scouts.
Dib, 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 losers. Oh, and Dealey, I want to see my face in the car bonnet, otherwise I'm calling a foul.
I'm sure that can be arranged, Pollyanna. After a last discussion of tactics, the first jobs came through our dispatcher. It was showtime.
We'd added some last-minute navigation tech to our arsenals, mine being the made-for-motorbikes TomTom Urban Rider, with a built-in sunshield and Bluetooth capability for instructions beamed straight to your ear.
Oh, I've already got a route. Fantastic! Oh, see ya!
I'd chosen the Garmin New Link with a massive 5-inch screen, live traffic alerts and advanced lane change warnings, but it was proving a bit fiddly to program.
I soon built up a lead on my Nano Brompton.
And this is where I need to stay ahead of Otis.
With 3 gears, it was taking the hills in its stride, and because my TomTom had a wireless earpiece, I had no problems navigating.
Turn 50 yards, turn right.
All the instructions are coming through great and very clear and very loud.
Okay, I have a route. I stuffed my sat-nav into my waterproof bike holder, but I was now lagging behind. I was counting on my Ike bike to make up some time. See you in a few minutes, ladies. Maybe that would be more than a few minutes. I don't even want to estimate how fast we're going right now. I mean, I can add to it by pedalling. But tiny wheels and no gears meant that my pedal power was negligible on the slightest hill. Had I made a bad mistake in picking the Ike bike? This is really disappointing in terms of speed.
I, on the other hand, had reached my first client.
There it is. I've seen it.
There's the key.
Blooming heck!
A quick shove and my easy-fold Brompton was in.
Right, so now I need to put sat-nav in because the one I had on the bike is only suitable for bikes. It doesn't actually have any volume. So now I have to set this up, which could take a couple of precious minutes.
As I laboured up to my first collection point, I guessed that Polly was probably winning. Oh my, what, really? Is this yours? But unlike Polly, I didn't need 2 separate sat-navs for bike and car. I'm good to go, Mike.
But I was already on my return journey.
I felt sure I wasn't far behind, but then I had a shock. Oh, no! Polly had beaten me back and her scouts were already on the job. Team Otis had some serious grafting to do. Come on, let's do it!
Team Polly was doing well, but then I hit a problem. My 12-volt vacuum cleaner wasn't powerful enough and I had to pick up a mountain of mess by hand.
This is going to take forever.
All my tech was working perfectly.
Go, Abby, with the rinsing ting!
And while Polly's scouts may have been keen and efficient, my soapy screen sirens were making the whole car washing thing a most photogenic spectacle. Polly's team may have been working it.
Team Scouts!
But my team were working it, and we were only seconds behind.
And I headed off for my second car, knowing he was right on my tail.
Yes, baby!
Oh, this looks like it might be it.
The boot was tiny, and I struggled to fit my Brompton inside.
Oh, man! My Ike bike's folding action meant I was gaining time on Polly.
But I still arrived back ahead of Otis.
He's not here yet. Brilliant!
My ultra-keen team and I got to work, but Otis was hot on our heels.
I can't believe he's here already!
I knew that I'd lose my lead if I didn't get a more powerful vacuum cleaner.
Can you pop over to Otis and go and grab the Electrolux?
I was sure Otis wouldn't mind.
Where's our vacuum cleaner? Oh no, what happened? You ran out of power?
How very dare you? Huh? Using my tech?
Thank you very much, we'll take that back.
Oh well, luckily enough I'd actually just finished.
Back in full possession of my tech, my team were proving that their attractive style of cleaning was also extremely efficient, and we soon caught up with Polly's scrubbing scouts.
We're done.
So are we! Time for the final car, but I had a problem with my Garmin.
It's not working.
Ah!
I heard her mention the same address as when I'm going to. She'll never know.
So, as soon as Polly had programmed her TomTom, I could just follow.
What are you doing there?
Fancy that, our sat-navs are going exactly the same way.
It was genius! Until I remembered her Brompton's wheels were twice the size of mine, and her acceleration was about twice as fast.
Well, what can I say? I'm royally, truly, absolutely stuffed now.
He's nowhere to be seen!
Straight down, can't miss it.
I soon arrived at the pickup. And because I'd arrived first, I got to choose the very marginally less dirty of the two off-roaders.
Look at these! I thought my car was dirty. I'm taking this one, but now I need to get my bike in there.
I began folding my Brompton just as Otis arrived.
Man!
And thanks to my Ike Bike's brilliantly easy folding action, I was now in the lead for the first time.
I'm away!
Wow!
I arrived back just in front, but Polly's scouts were just as determined as my soap stars.
My Karcher power washer and snow foam lance were just perfect for my tough cleaning job, and the mud was flying off.
Everyone just grab something and scrub!
My team was working as hard as they could, but I could see my slender lead slipping away.
Look at the size of these chunks of mud! Look at that!
We're finished! It's done! Victory by buff ball.
Yes.
Loving the buff ball, you know. I'd love to buff my entire house with this. Just find places to buff.
But I loved the snow foam. That really broke the dirt down, so it's quite easy to
Gave you
Both
huge
Land Rovers were absolutely caked. I could see
well
that.
done. I just have a question. I wonder whether you got slightly distracted by your helpers.
Distract? No. I mean, the thing is,
You're even can't get his words out.
It was a victory for Pollyanna Woodward this
That's
week.
all right. Could you just buff me a little bit there?
See you soon.
I'd see you.
Thank you.